comment monitor here. Hey YouTube, hello everyone. Nobody's watching live just yet, that's okay. I couldn't fit the full title for what I wanted in this video. There we go. Yeah, great, phone, perfect. Basically, I wanted the full title to be a rough test of these polyester panels. Actually, I could have fit rough test, I should have. And also talking a bit about how soundproofing is extremely confusing, and I was going to do this the other day, but I decided to wait for the rest of my panels to come. It's confusing and frustrating, and I'm just going to get that out of the way really quickly. There's a whole lot of companies using terms, kind of, one moment, we have, there's a little bug over here. I'm going to go get rid of it quickly. So, companies end up using a lot of terms interchangeably. They're like soundproofing versus sound dampening, and there is a difference. Soundproofing is when you actually completely block or stop sounds from going in or out of a place. And sound, or sometimes it's called sound deadening, is probably a better term. No, wait, yeah, soundproofing. So there's sound absorption and sound deadening. Sound absorption is when, great, I'm forgetting my terms, but one of them, absorption, is when you're like absorbing echoes, getting rid of the echo. Like there's a slight echo in my studio space right now. That needs to go away. But sound deadening is when you actually literally stop the sound. Like I'm trying to do coming in and out of this door. If you haven't seen any of the other soundproofing videos that I've done, that I'm working on, let's wipe this lens off too. The walls are fine, it's just the door. They have insulation in them that makes them good. So we'll get to a rough test of these panels. I'm trying to do this now so that there's maybe a possibility I might be able to return them, as long as I don't cut them up or anything. So I'm not going to be cutting them up. And yeah, it is. I don't know. I'm hopeful that they actually do what they say. But in doing some testing in video where I got them and I like put the camera streaming inside of a box of them, they didn't seem to do very good. Maybe it's the testing scenario. Maybe it's where they are. No, there's a confusing video where like Arrowzoom claims. Let me pull up Arrowzoom soundproofing door kit. Arrowzoom soundproofing door kit. Let me pull up their website here. Show you on my phone. Oh wow, I just barely noticed that their $149.99 price is on sale. It used to be $194. So I didn't get the door kit, I just got the panels because the door kit comes with a bevel edge creator, which I don't need, and some, whatchamacallit? And some weather stripping, which I already had some. People online were saying that the weather stripping that I had would probably be good enough. They have a video that claims 20 decibels of sound reduction. Man, there's one photo that I'm trying to find in here. Yep, 20 decibels of noise reduction. Helps you sleep quietly, undisturbed tenderness. A little bit of broken English there, but there you go. The kid sleeping with his teddy bear in his room, and it helps block the sound from the door. Is it down here? There was another photo where they had like some people in front of a TV, right? And they were like screaming at a sports game and jumping up and down excitedly. And then you had like a door, and the door had like a speech bubble on it, and inside the speech bubble was the head of a crying baby. Very good visuals, I will add. But if these don't do the rated 20 decibels that they say, like my tests were kind of showing that they weren't really doing, given that I was using a Samsung Galaxy Note 8 with a decibel meter on there, which isn't completely accurate. I recognize that. If any audiophiles see this, yes, I know. But if there's a measurable difference, like personally not knowing much about decibels and everything, I'm willing to say that, let's say, I don't know, let's say the decibel meter on my phone is like 5 decibels off from a real one for whatever weird reason. That's like, and so I get, let's say, 15 reduction instead of 20. I will accept that. That is a very acceptable thing for me. But, yeah, I don't know. But there is one possible hope, because if these don't work, I'll try and, I spent about $110 on these, just the panels. I got 32 of them instead of the 20 that come with the single-sided door kit. If I put these up and I run my test and they don't work, I'm probably going to have to look for other options. Well, part of me, wants to maybe possibly keep them, because I'm sure that they do a job of sound absorption and helping absorb echoes, which we'll see if maybe they do a little bit. I would personally rather have where's my pieces? I would rather have something like this on my door instead of just this. Because I'm going to get from Arrowzoom their polyester, sorry, no, not polyester, their sound foam, but the pyramid shape. Which the cheap black stuff that I bought on Amazon years ago has worked. So I'm sure that their pyramid stuff will work too. And be just as good, if not better. So, but there is a savior, possibly. There is a hope. Because there's so many different things. It's like there's mass-loaded vinyl, and what about this material? And do they do as good as they claim? And also the other thing that makes it confusing is, what sound are you trying to isolate? Because, I mean, for me, all noise, all of it, any noise that would come from out there, will have to be more specific, right? Because nobody's going to drive a truck out there. So, I mean, it's mostly noise from my stepdad, who would be working out there at his desk across the way. So, what does that exactly mean? It means I'm trying to reduce vocal noise, but other sounds too. I want to reduce any noise coming through this door, but reducing other sounds is a good option too. Or, sorry, reducing vocals is the focus. I'm a little distracted here. And so, let's get set up. Oh wait, I forgot where I was leading up to. So we have this thick moving blanket. Pretty sure it came from Harbor Freight, which is a good sign because Harbor Freight is relatively cheap. This is a Hallmaster. Sounds like something that Harbor Freight would sell. I tested this with my microphone by my computer, not in a video. I was just opened up OBS and watched the volume levels fluctuate as I talked. This did almost a 20 decibel reduction. It varied a bit because I know my voice level varied a little bit up and down, but this did a pretty good job. Like, here, I can show you. Listen to this, and now listen to this with this in front. Now, if I completely encapsulate myself inside of it, I don't know how expensive this was. I think we might have gotten one of these for free because there's a thing where it's like, hey, come in with a coupon, buy one, get one free. And so I could put some of this up on the door. I think mass-loaded vinyl, it's really expensive, but that would be a cool thing to experience. And also that would probably fit on the door a little better. Question is, though, would I get enough reduction There's also, I've seen a video where you put drywall on the door. One guy did because you get about 3 decibels reduction with drywall. So there are a few other options I can explore if this stuff doesn't work, but I'm hoping that it does. If not, I'm going to have to try and return it. And I don't know, and it's a very rough test because I'm going to point out the things that are rough about this test. Now, at the top of the door, that's a separate piece. I have it taped on at this end, but I can't have it perfectly flush on the other end because the door tilts up a bit when we're opening it, and it doesn't open all the way. And I'm going to be fixing that with my mom. We'll try and fix that before I run out of time to return these things so that I have a good test. But depending on how this test goes, I may or may not have a big rush to do that. So this is some old weather stripping. That I'm putting back on here. This side of the door is not going to be perfect. That is part of the roughness of the test. As you can see, our weather stripping does not go all the way down. I don't want to add any of my new weather stripping until it's actually done. Then the door is good, because we might have to take this off and mess with the hinges. We are going to have to take off this part, but on the inside, and shim the door frame. That's what our neighbor said. He's actually the renter in our old house. He rents from us. Really nice person. And then, what am I thinking of? Oh, yeah. My mom even said, because like he's the one that told her how to hang the rest of the doors, like the ones you see over there, which hang fine. Especially those ones were a little easier because they had their own frame. This one Mom had to cut because the top. But the other day she was like, what's that Chinese, mentor, whatever thing? Because you're like, sensei? Yes. And then she said to our neighbor and renter, you are my sensei. So we got that. I'm going to put some strip on the top because I know I'm putting strip up there. And that's going to be one of the rougher parts of this is... because this piece right here isn't screwed down, so it might not be giving as much pressure to the bottom as expected. And then also, with that in mind, there may possibly be, a little gap around the corner that I don't notice yet. We'll have to check with light. That will get fixed. Oh, and there is also this... there is also this hole right there that goes through the door from where the original door handle was screwed in. I don't know what I'm going to fill that with, but I'll fill it with something that'll help. So there are a few rough edges to this, but we're going forwards. All right. So what else we need to grab? This is actually got some of my... What is this piece for? Oh, I see. This piece is the other half of the one that's over here. Okay. So I will save this piece for possibly going along the edge where the door closes. Because I have the double wide. Because these things come in two that are connected and you separate them. I have it double wide with the old stuff over there. I'll have to see if I want it single wide or not. Actually, here's a little piece on the ground. So I have this on the door edge, but it might just be like this. I need a better place to put this. I accidentally smushed some blankets on top of it. It's still fine. What? This one piece will not reach across the full top. I need to actually show you guys what I'm looking at up there. So this piece won't reach the full length. Now the other piece would, no question, I do have some thicker stuff for a large seal that I will return if I'm still in the return window. If I don't need this stuff here though, that's when I was thinking that I would put it vertically like this, but I'm thinking it's not a large gap to fill, so I'm probably going to need to get some more of this small gap filler. So I will measure and put up a piece of this. Okay. Whew, there's a cut. Now I'm going to put it so that our little rubber flappy piece where it's separated in the middle is towards up. Well, what do you know? I got this piece just a little bit too long. Not actually, the one over here can scoot over just a little bit. There we go. Make sure it's adhered to the right surface. Okay, so the door is now mostly sealed, aside from the things I mentioned earlier. And let's give it a close test fit. That's pretty nice. And then I can push okay, that looks pretty good. And I can definitely feel the top piece that will be gluing and nailing into the door is actually making contact. I'm going to check it on the outside really quickly. It seems like it's the right distance of stuff. I forgot my speaker. And why are we loading on my comment monitor? That's not a good sign. Try reloading the live stream entirely on my comment monitor. There we go. toasty in here too. I'm gonna plug in, it doesn't need it, just to be safe. Plug in my streamer phone. So I'm gonna grab my speaker really quickly, and we'll put up these panels and do a test. Realized too we need a before and after, and this is a live video. This was not a pre-recorded edited thing. Keep that in mind. If it feels a bit long, if it's unedited, not feeling great, yeah, that's part of it. So let's do a quick test here. Talking with people on the video chat for his job and the phones. GPS tracking comes after as I would like. We need to fix this piece of code, and we need to do this thing and this and that and make this work. And yeah. On the video chat for his job. The phone. GPS tracking comes after as I would like. We need to fix this piece of code. We need to do this thing and this and that and make this work. And yeah. And I thought that was a really, really good idea. Okay, yeah, thanks for your input. We'll work on that. Now, I don't have a device that I can do the decibel metering on, because my older phone, the Note 2, couldn't stream anything. And the using it as a decibel meter did not work very well, because yeah, it was very inconsistent compared to the modern ones. So I'm just going to start putting these panels up uncut. And I'm not going to be sticking them up anything fancy. I'm just going to use one, maybe two pieces of this some kind of outdoor tape. So we'll start at the bottom here. And for now, this test, I'm going to have the panels stick out just a bit so that they kind of cover the gaps on the left side. That's not possible for the right side. A little toasty in here, but I'm not going to turn on the fan because I do not want wind noise. So let's get this show on the road, and we'll try and see if I can think of any more thoughts I wanted to share about soundproofing foam and stuff. And there's a local place that claims they do soundproofing online, so I'll probably contact them at some point and see, hey, do you guys have any materials maybe you could sell me? What would you recommend? Do you have mass loaded vinyl? I'd love to test it out. And so far this tape is working good enough for this very rough test. having those few cracks and stuff not perfect is fine. Even cracks in between these panels is fine for now, because with them up, we should at least see a difference. You know what? There's a tiny little bit of a gap on the right side between the hinge and these pieces, so I'm going to move all of these to the right and not have a gap on the left where it would stick out over the door frame, because they don't in any of their photos and the one video I've watched, which that video is a bit confusing. I forget who it's by, but I'm trying to think of who the video is by. Oh, there's my phone. He does state that the panels don't do what people think they should, even though what's the word? Even though they claim that on Arrowzoom, and but also like when he first has them up, he's like, I can already tell they're doing what they're supposed to. The sound of my air conditioning is quieter, so it's a bit confusing of a video when he gets to those points. And, also I'm realizing too, I'm trying to get rid of like vocal noise. There's a chance that these polyester panels, although I haven't seen it on their rating, there's a chance that these panels are more for lower end noises, deep sounds, and not vocals, which is what I need them to reduce. However, that photo I mentioned, which I couldn't find, but the one I mentioned of the baby crying behind the door, leads me to believe that these would handle vocals. Now we are going to have, there's going to be a slight gap around the door handle, because I can't cut any of these up for that if I want to return them. Or, if I did have to for some reason, I would definitely say, and, one of them I did have to cut, so I will keep that one and pay the price for it, but the rest can I return? Which they might say no, I don't know. They do have a disclaimer about like, once you've sent certain things to production, then you can't return them. But I think that's for more custom stuff. I'm assuming that this is just standard. They make a bunch of these because it's red, one of the colors that they choose. If I can't return this generic, not very custom thing to them, I am not going to be happy. And maybe I'll go with some other place for my pyramid sound foam. It's looking pretty nice though. So there's also going to be a bit of a gap up top because these are square and the door is not square. I'm going to start now as high up on the top as I can go. And then, you know, I could probably overlay some panels like on top of each other for the middle section. Oh, first one fell down. Wait, actually, no, the top, you know what I'm gonna do? I'll show you what I'm gonna do. I should have had this pointed up higher earlier. So, what I'm going to do for the top is I'm going to have the piece come up to the highest corner of the door, which is, I'm going to need a secondary tape for that one. Yeah. And then I will try and put all of the other pieces up here square to that. Let's see here. So, right about here. Okay, then I should be able to, with that same piece of tape, fit one more, although this one has to be way high for the tape. Okay, hopefully that stays. Now let's pan the camera down just a little bit, so maybe can we see both? No, we can barely see both. Okay. Okay. Man, I'm really hoping that this works good enough, because then I will be a lot more comfortable moving my stuff in. Wow, that was exciting. Let's put these, a bunch of the bottom ones fell off too. I did not say that this was going to be a permanent solution, because if these things don't work, I would like to return them. Oops. And you know, if I had more tape, top to bottom, could help. I'm trying to avoid doing that though. Although this tape isn't really pulling off much of the material, so. Okay, there's that piece. Oops, that one needs to come out of there. You know what, I am going to yeah. I'm gonna add for these top ones here a second roll of tape. On the bottom. Ooh, some ones from the bottom fell again. I might have to double tape those as well. Okay. Then this one might get a third piece of tape, we'll have to see. Move that piece of tape up a bit. Okay. Okay. Good enough for up there. Let's quickly. So far we have only used one pack of this stuff, which is not enough. You do need like 20. So, not again. Ugh. This is terrible. Put another sticky one for this piece. And this piece I'll have a little bit, actually no, it needs to be for the rest of this. Never mind, I'm just going to have this. Okay. There's another one on the bottom. Which, okay, fine. If a piece falls off, it will get a second sticky. Okay. We are so close to our rough test. And it's going to be maybe a bit of wind noise. Sorry, it's just too hot in here. This is like one of those annoying puzzles that after a while undoes. And okay, so I'm going to do the top ones last. They have been causing the most problems. And a second person, this would be nice too, to help me get these up faster, but I don't. Okay. So I will actually start. Problem with the top ones though is I want the gap in the middle to be where we have gap, and so I'm going to start with that one. And you know, I'm going to try something for this next piece. Cutting out a longer piece of tape here, and I'm just making a big one. Okay. I feel like that'll perform. All right, that gives us the number for our gap, which I'm planning just to put ones on top like this. Here's the bottom 3, really guys. Give this one a thicker piece. Go. All right. Then I was going to see if I could have a piece just stretch between the already existing pieces of tape, but I'm going to do it this way in the middle. Give another big. There they go. You can just hear them slowly peel off. Just stay up long enough for me to do my test. My $100 test. These things are not cheap. Okay. And I realize the middle section of panels is probably going to be the worst. I didn't do that as wide as I do. Now, the middle section will probably be the worst simply because it's sticking this to itself, and this doesn't like to stick to the tape. I'm going to give that one a bigger section of tape because I can hear it actively just peeling off. Okay. That top one doesn't really have a lot to anchor to, so it'll go on one of the last ones to go on. because it's got a lot of weight on the top. Start out with some of the panels on our second set. Out right there. By the way, I think we have one watching, because it's the comment monitor, and the comment monitor doesn't usually show myself. Okay. All right, so now for these ones that have fallen off here. So if there is someone watching other than my phone as a comment monitor, hello. Oops, I rolled that one up too much. Well, we can stick that one in the middle still. Now for this middle section here. Okay, fine. The top one will get a bigger piece. We are just ever so close. This one doesn't like it, well, fine. You can have some more tape. one of these middle pieces goes on now. The one that probably will not stick. Okay. Piece right here. Stay on the dart. Why? They just keep losing their sticky. And it's annoying. Okay. All right, let's be fast. Let's be fast with the rest of these. You know what? Here. Just a massive, big, huge, giant tape that will stretch across this whole entire section here. Stop sticking to me, okay? Stop sticking to Fine, have some more right there. Okay. Stop it. No! Maybe. Maybe this isn't. Possible. We're so close. Put another piece. These ones are going again, even though I gave them more tape. Did I? Here, this one on the right here. Have some more tape, buddy. Okay. Well, I did not mean for my tape to unroll that much. There, nice, huge piece of tape for you down here. If you don't stick, I'm going to destroy destroy something, not literally actually, just because that's not me. I know that destroying something makes it permanently gone. Okay. All right, we are at the point. Those middle ones aren't gonna like to stay as I suspected. Those just come. Actually, you know what? If I put the middle ones vertically, maybe. We're so close. We keep getting close. Farther. I hate it. And this is annoying. And this is a rough test. And I am going to go prime my speaker. Okay, let's go. The speaker's on. Close the door. And let's just put up whatever we can of these tiles. Go, go, go. If I could have put like a tack or something in them. But that, I feel, would be a little too close to being destructive. There'd be even a tiny little one. There would be a little hole in them. Okay. Okay. Put this piece up. Put this piece up. I'm gonna have to hurry. Let's put wait, how come there's not? Okay, that's good enough down there. Okay. We have these two panels on the floor here. on. I have to do this one. No. No. You know what? Fine. Pieces that I had planned for the middle here. Yeah. Okay. You're gonna stick to this extremely long piece that has so much sticky on it that there is no possible way that you will be able to come down. Actually, there is a possible way because they just did. Feeling like not worrying about that middle section so much. Fine, here. I don't know which one of these in the bottom needs it more. I'm gonna feel like this top one could use another one. Here, piece. You need to go right there. You need to stay right there. Oh yeah, I'll just put the panels up using some tape that's good for outdoor stuff and supposedly it'll be a temporary fit, long enough for me to run a test. And I'll do it live. And no, I won't. Well, I am. Okay, that is okay. Now for this middle section here, I doubt this will stick, but no, it won't. No, that just wants to roll down. So what about this? You know what? And I can just hold these last two panels up. Let's do a quick test. Talking to people on the video chat and John and phone. You guys got me from that thing together. You do this thing and this one and this work. Yeah. And I hope that will go over there and be like, okay. Yeah. We'll work on that. Well, it's time to take out the stream. The verdict, I really don't think. Here, let's do, which I need to disconnect from my Bluetooth speaker now. So I'm playing my Bluetooth speaker now. And they can just fall. All right, I'm skipping back to where I think the is actually making contact and we're checking on the outside of this monitor. Posty in here too. Not work very well. Anything? And the using it as a decimal meter did not work very well because it was very inconsistent compared to the modern one. I'm going to use one. Couldn't. Then I can do the decimal metering on. Video chat. Well, I'll have to grab side by side and edit, but to me, it's maybe only a degree quieter, but it's not enough. I think, as jank as this was, it didn't sound to me like we had anything that was like significantly coming through the cracks. Like in previous tests, like I put my ear up against the door and my ear up against the crack without the seal, and it sounded like maybe a 1 decibel difference. So, yeah, it doesn't really seem like it's making enough of a difference. Now, someone claims you have to have a perfect, accurate No, I'm sorry. No perfect accurate seal. I am not buying that garbage. Okay? Having a good seal is going to help, and it will make things better, but having everything be perfect, like, yeah. So, I'll try and download this video, or just get the sections from it on my computer, and upload a condensed before and after test. But I really don't think that this is going to be the solution that does what they say, and I'm going to need something else. So sad. Anyways, thanks for watching. Go support me on Patreon so that I can try and help support, buy whatever that is. Do not think we had anybody tune in this stream, which is totally fine. I'll see you guys in whatever's next.